morning, everyone. They're all out here waiting on me, Stripes in the plant pot. Looks like we had some deer trying to get used to the new pipe last night. Not sure exactly how much they ate out of it yet, though. I sent Don down to put a little bit more corn on the mat while they're in this getting used to it process. Hi, Morris. Good morning, buddy. Good morning. Hi, boys. Hi. Stripey. Hey, bud. Come here. You guys coming? Mart was up to eat with Morris, but he's had his full now. I was going to show you that he was eating, but he just hopped down. That's fine. And the impatiens over here this morning, you know, there's 4 pots in there, big pots. They're looking very pretty. This is what it would look like all over the yard if the deer hadn't eaten them. But some of them are starting to grow back, so give it a little time. Stripe doesn't really like to eat on top of the other cats. He'll even wait until everybody else is done and then come in and clean up the plate. So he doesn't have food insecurity for sure. But I gave him a little something on the countertop. Well, we were sunny first thing this morning, but now it's kind of cloudy again. We're not really supposed to get any rain until like maybe overnight. I was looking, we're up at over 8 inches for the month of July now. That's twice as much as normal for July, and we certainly needed it. Things have greened back up nicely, which is great, but it made a real mess in my bird feeder. So Dawn is out here to take down the blue bird feeder, thank you Nani, and bring it back up to the house for me to wash. It's basically a disaster in there. So anyway, they should really be washed every 2 weeks, but no way is that happening. But when they look like they really need it, I certainly handle it. Are you fixing to have your early afternoon nap while I cook your breakfast?
Yeah, well, I missed my morning nap.
Yeah, well, you've got 10 minutes or so until at least until I come in with the food. I'm going to feed him and then I'm going to work him.
Yeah.
Not too hard. We got to do the oil in the fan, and I bought this America 250 cast iron skillet that I want hung on the wall in the kitchen. So, wow. Yeah. I went to use the bathroom, and while I was back there, I had a question for Grok.
No Grok.
And I just want to say that I am super tired of, frustrated, not being able to just walk around the house and talk to Grok like I can in the car. Like, right. I need it, and I needed it a year ago, and I really need it. I really need it now. So what I want to know, what I was going to ask him, I was thinking about our deer project, our deer feeder, because I just put some photos up on X trying to be cute and, you know, stay active over there. Elon asked us to post. I try to post something every day, at least one time. Elon asked us to post and help make X successful, and I'm would love it if it made me successful too, but if it at least helps Elon, I'm okay with that. So I want to know if Charlotte Pipe only makes PVC pipe for the Southeast, or if they supply the whole country now. Like if the majority of PVC pipe for sanitary sewers in the whole country comes out of Charlotte. I'm just curious to know. I know Bourne Brick down near Monroe, Matthews, in between Charlotte and Monroe, makes brick for the Southeast. Like, it's a huge brick manufacturing plant. And Charlotte Plastic is not too far from there. It's on the also on the east side of town, and I've driven past the facility, which is why, yeah, it might be expensive, but at least it's made in the USA, and it's also helps North Carolina industry. So I cannot feel too bad about that expensive pipe purchase. But anyway, I want to know that question, so I need to go ask Grok, because I just can't help. I'm curious about stuff.
Yeah.
And I also worked with Grok this morning to help me write essentially a summary paper on Elon Musk's and his company's accomplishments and how they have helped America. It would be it's probably at a late high school, early college level, I would say, is how grok. But it's, he did all of the things. He's got this opening summary statement, and then he goes down paragraph by paragraph and sort of spit it out for me. And I told him, because I gave him ideas, and I told him to go add stuff.
Sure.
And then at the end, to be fair, I said, give me 5 things that the companies could be doing better. Like one I knew as an example is they still got to go back and improve the water usage on Colossus in Tennessee.
Right.
They promised those people they would do something, and they haven't done it yet. I'm aware of that. It's not like I expected that there's no problems with any of the stuff any of the companies are doing. But when you look at the overall environmental impact, I think it's a positive story. And grok basically wrote it up like that. So anyway, if anybody comes at me with any hate for Elon and his companies and money, I'm armed and ready for him, baby, with the talking points. So I'm armed and, we get caught off guard sometimes. It hasn't happened lately, but I like to be prepared for these things. But I need grok. So Don's gonna hang the cast iron skillet, do the oil in the fan, and he has some other things I don't know if he's gonna get to today or not. I guess it depends on how good of a nap he gets and how great my breakfast is.
That's right. A lot riding on it, girl.
I fed him lobster last night. I want you to know, after he worked out in the yard. The only thing wrong with yesterday is we did end up being out there a little late. I would have rather had you back on your couch by, let's say, 6 o'clock, and it was 7 or 7:30.
Always takes me longer.
Well, and also we didn't get started very early.
I understand.
Yeah, but we're trying not to go till...
I worked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
It was going to take 2, and it took 4 hours.
Yeah, Don did work for the 3rd Saturday morning in a row. Well, I showed you back there working hard, and you had 2 systems to do, you said, instead of 1. And it wasn't double the time, but it was some amount more time to do both systems.
Yeah,
so
I ran into the one system. I ran into the humongous file.
Yes, I got a discussion about DASD and VSAM and storage yesterday. I did, and I understood 85% of what Don said, and the rest of it was like, oh yeah, God, that's what those system people have to do.
Yeah,
I tried to avoid that. Well, I mean, we would have to run jobs to go set up the databases for our product on our test systems and stuff, and I knew how to do that. But when the DASD filled up, we just holler off across the hall to Pete, hey, you need to go put some more space on that pack for us. Let me know when you fixed it.
Yeah.
I never actually had to go do that, right?
Yeah.
Then I didn't make Pete do a panel modification facility customer enhancement. So it was a mutual thing. He'd rather go mess with the VSAM data sets, and I'd rather go do the panel modification stuff.
Yeah, well, they had given me a volume, and the file I was working with was bigger than 1 pack. So 1 volume. So
yeah, that's not fun.
So I had to.
It spanned.
Adapt.
It spanned. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Don sorted it out, but he was back there a little longer than convenient yesterday. We got a late start partly because of that. Yeah. Needless to say, I know more about PVC pipe than I ever wanted to, and its close relative, NDS pipe, next bay over. I guess NDS is for storm drains and landscaping, and PVC is for sanitary sewer. Charlotte Pipe is actually located in Monroe. I knew it was between Monroe and Matthews, Charlotte area. I went to high school in Monroe. I grew up in Monroe, so I was telling Dawn all the time we would go past the plant and we would see flatbeds hauling pipe out of the plant, plus brick being hauled out of the brick company, and Harris Teeter Distributing hauling their main distribution plant, or first distribution plant in North Carolina, is also down there in that same US Highway 74 corridor, either in or just outside of Monroe, or on the east side of Charlotte, however you want to look at it, with Matthews being kind of in there in the middle. Anyway, Charlotte Pipe is big for household projects and some commercial. And Home Depot, Lowe's, and Ace Hardware all carry it. And it is throughout the country, and it even has a little bit of an international presence now. They have like 8 facilities at least, including Huntsville, Alabama, and the Monroe plant. They also have an cast iron production foundry here in North Carolina, Oakboro. I don't know where Oakboro is. I'll have to go back and look that up. Never heard of Oakboro. And then there are other companies that do the big pipe going down the side of the road that you would see more of. So, you know, Charlotte Pipe is pretty focused on 4-inch stuff, which is why we had a little bit of a hard time getting the 6-inch. And we would have gone with NDS, but you can't because it's cheaper. It's a little less sturdy, but you don't, the deer feeder didn't really need Charlotte Pipe level plastic, but they don't make a Y that you can find easily, or it's that part's not cheaper. So anyway, now you know too. Aren't you glad? We're in Robot and headed for a walk down the Jeff Wells Trail.
Yeah, we're not going to the
Wake County Convenience Center number right. 1.
Yeah, we're going to go to our thing.
To work.
We're going to activate. I'm going to put my foot on the brake. Marianne's going to turn.
So we don't catch the pin.
And then we're going to hit. The green light is coming on.
Yep.
Green light's on.
Yes, yes.
And now we're going.
Green light means the door is all the way up.
Left door closes in 20 feet.
Well, that sounds good because that's what we want to happen.
Yeah, but I manually opened it.
Right, right.
I love this coming out of
I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. It goes in at an angle and it comes out at an angle. And let me just tell you, with garage doors in general, that's just not what we do.
All right, there it goes.
Yeah.
I think it did well.
Now, we've had limited success with the deer eating out of the actual feeder. Well, I told Don, you got to put this big industrial thing in the middle of their feeding station, and it probably smells like all these weird a mix of industrial and human.
Yeah, that's true. It'll air out.
It'll air out over time, and them still coming to eat at the platform next to it, and it not jumping out and killing them is helpful to them learning that it's an okay thing. So
yeah, besides that, it fills the need for me ever wanting to build a snowman.
How's that?
It's huge, it's white, it's sitting out in the woods.
Well, I didn't tell Don no to spray painting it. I just wasn't super excited about him spray painting it.
Right. Well, that would be more off-gassing.
Right. It's just from a chemical standpoint. Would it look better if it was green than white? Absolutely.
Right.
But because it's, you know, the one in the back by the cat bricks that Don did all those years ago, we used to feed birds there instead of in the front yard. You know, there weren't any birds actually eating off or around the plastic. That was not part of the feeder thing. And in this case, it's actually, you know, part of the feeder. So, I don't know. I didn't say no, but I'm not super excited about it happening either.
We'll see. Well, we got to decide if that's going to be the permanent location. And then
well, I would say my initial thoughts are I'm happy with it and not going to ask for it to be moved. But
well, we'll give
the only negative that I came up with about the current location is that you can no longer see the suet feeder on the tree behind it. It blocks the suet feeder.
Yeah, I lined that up perfectly without trying.
Yeah, and so if I were to put a suet block over there and a pileated woodpecker were to eat off of that suet feeder, we now would not see it.
Right.
That's a couple of fairly large ifs. So the only time I put suet out there last year was snow and ice, when the birds really like attack the suet more.
Well, I think we would just put the suet, redo the little suet feeder and mount it on the side of the white pole, the big towards the top. And that way, because I don't think the birds would mind not one little bit.
Well, remember, Don may not be remembering, you custom built that suet feeder for me because of the really big woodpecker needing a wood place for his feet to go. He's not ever going to land on that little tiny metal dinky.
That's right. He has to have a
has to have a base for his feet to put on, and you had built in the little lines across it, the little ledges, and they sell feeders like that for $30 to $50, but Don built that one basically for free. So
but I now am, after building a $100 PVC pipe deer thing, I'd gladly pay somebody $30 to build me that bird feeder thing for the suet thing for the woodpecker.
Okay, I'll remember.
God, come take my $30.
I'll remember that. It's nice and green. That is a good sight to see. Boys will be back over here mowing again if it dries out for them.
Yeah, that sun come out today, man. It'll jump up a foot.
Yep. I like that problem better than it turning brown, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's looking like they came in and did something more than nothing when they mowed the grass, which exposed trash off to the side that surely they didn't stop to pick up. So
nope.
We're not trying to do an all-intensive, but we are definitely picking up as we go today.
Pick up something that's bright red.
Yep, I know. We can't walk past it. We'll have a full bag, Walmart bag. But yeah, but I'm going to bet, though, that this doesn't go all the way to the end. That the maintenance,
the boys are getting tired.
I'm thinking it's not going to go all the way to the end, but we'll find out. That's the kind of damage you do to trees when you come in with those things and you just sort of shave down along the edge. Personally, I would be a lot more careful of the trees. I'm not a fan of the brute force. I'll just take anything out. Now, that's not all the way around the tree, and it'll probably heal up, but that lets disease in, and then they have a tree fall, and then they got to come out and deal with the tree, plus it takes the shade off the trail. So I'm finding fault. I'm definitely here finding fault. I can't help it. It's just how I roll. I see it, I call it out. This nice tree over here has got some damage at the base too. It's not as bad as that one back there. Yeah, if I was their supervisor, I'd be walking the trail after they did the job. Well, I'd be walking the trail beforehand, stating expectations. We don't damage the big trees. Yeah. And I'd be walking the trail afterward, and I'd be letting them know every big tree they hit.
Yeah.
Well, mostly all they took out here was kudzu. The camera card pulled up. All I was trying to say is let's not hurt the trees that provide shade on the trail. And thanks for taming the kudzu. I certainly have no qualms about trimming that invasive plant back. But let's just be careful for the trees. And all it really takes is one or two guys down on the ground walking with the machine ahead of it. And when they see the big trees, chainsaw or lopper the stuff away from the tree so that other arm doesn't need to get in there. Seems so totally fixable to me. Well, we thought they had totally carted off the sign that they had used to close the road when they were working down here on the sewer, but it didn't get carted off. It got buried underneath the kudzu. That's it right there. And if I had come down with the piece of equipment and clear cut over here on the side and seen that, I would have carried that out with me.
You could have just looped a little rope around it and drug it out, because it's going to be really hard to pull up by hand from there without working it.
Yeah, if you didn't hear Don, he said, we should have put our mics on. He said they just hook it to the machine and pull it out with a rope would have been no big deal, but a man trying to lift that and pull it out is something else. But it'll be there. Probably till Don and I haul it out, which maybe we can't haul that out, but we've hauled out some stuff over here.
Yeah.
Maybe sections of it if we were walking every day. That's just ridiculous. I don't stay in my lane very well. At IBM, I didn't stay in my lane very well. We weren't supposed to do customizations for the customer, only supposed to do bug defects. And there's a very fine line between your product falls short and the customer needs help, and it's a new function or it's a defect. Those lines were often blurred for me and Don.
Yeah.
And we would get in trouble erring on the side of helping the customer.
Yeah, and it always usually paid off.
Well, everybody liked us, except for maybe the man-hours management was scrutinizing.
Yeah, well, I never worked on a product that had so many customers that could afford to lose one.
You could just tell them to go pound salt. Yeah.
I always want to work on a product, but no, I'm not going to do that. I don't care. Go buy somebody else's product.
Yeah.
I never had that. I never had
green
that
debris to your right.
luxury.
Yeah, well, I love this thing that when Don would train new people to come in, never tell the customer no, that when it gets escalated to the second or third line manager and he comes, is just going to come and tell you to do it anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Just save us all the trouble and just go do the right thing for the customer.
That's right. That typically would prove out to be my experience.
Yeah, well, Verizon and some of the other big customers, they had no problem. I mean, they held Rollin on site hostage for what, a week?
Yeah, something like
or
that.
two. They would demand someone to come on site, and they would take it as high as they could take it and show their you-know-what, even if it wasn't a, well, usually it was a legitimate outage.
Yeah.
It was a legitimate outage, and it hurt their business, but they were a little over the top with it. Yeah. Well, so far they've come down. Well, after a certain point, they don't have to do it because the sewer line project pretty much had cleared off to the side, but... Well, I'm glad at least they gave this trail a little bit of attention since the last time we walked it.
Well, I guess now what they're thinking with that paving job a couple weeks ago, that this is 100% done on this side.
On this side, yeah.
And it's only been, what, a full, easy 2 years.
Yeah, it's only been 2 years, that's right. Yeah, the first thing that happened was they shut down the trail and that messed up our walking.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
that impacted our walking, and we were just walking up at the park, and then probably be fair to say we got a little bit tired of picking up everybody's trash. We would pick it up and make it look better, and then we seen the town people not care, and we certainly seen other people using the park not care. And there's just only so many times you can clean up after your fellow man and not get frustrated, and then Don's work got really busy, so that was impacting us going, and I'm glad we're out here today, though. Don said he felt a little full after we ate, and I looked at the clock and said, I think you can knock a couple things off of your list, even if we go...
I've already knocked a couple things off my list. So that means when I go home, I don't have to do anything
The
else?
flies are starting to bite.
Yes, they are biting me too.
Dang it. Yeah, I'm definitely happier with the condition of the trail this time than the last time we walked it. They did blow all of the crap off of the trail down on this end, so that's mostly what I'm judging on. Still got a little infringement here. They didn't come down here with that machine. I didn't figure they'd go the whole less length, but still... We have water in the creek.
Yeah.
It sounds nice. I bet there wasn't that much water in it 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was probably very dry.
The only water was in it was a splash pad.
Runoff, yeah, overflow. Clean out from the splash pad.
Nope.
It did raise the garage door on its own as we requested. Of course, getting it to go up has never been a problem since that feature was introduced, but we backed up and we just stopped right here.
Yeah. I think we need to change the range on it. I think it's too tight. It needs to be like 120 feet.
Okay. All right, Don's got my R America 250 skillet from Lodge mounted on the wall over here. We had to wait for that special bracket to come. I decided that was important to me to order that. So anyway, there it is. It's not coming down. It's in the studs. So it's all good. They have this one with sort of America shape on it with important America things in it. And then they also have an America the Beautiful one that has a really scenic Colorado to me looking scene. I am going to work on the building a little bit, the corner garage, and it starts with the water closet, the toilet, the bathroom. It starts with that. That's where I left off last night.
Ta-da! Put this one up in no time. I can't wait to see what she puts on it. You know, this is going to be Johnny's shelf, so I bet it's going to have 49er stuff on it. And, you know, maybe some 3D robot trophies or something. We'll see. But, you know, this one was, you know, I've got it system now, so it's like really not a big deal. I can put these things up in no time.
Well, I did all of that inside detail. The steps, the couch, the chair, the newspaper rack, the flowers, the bird perch, and all the medical equipment and cabinets and microscope and warming bed and everything in here. This vet, he treats all kinds of critters, not just dogs and cats. I'll pick back up tomorrow and probably finish this floor, do these front windows.